I'm sitting on the porch of my beautiful bedroom on this lovely resort. It's not really a resort, it's a hotel. It's a farming hotel, actually, with permaculture and all kinds of beautiful spas. There's spa rooms across the way from me. Anyway, I'm sitting here because the transmission that kept coming to me was the life that I created for myself. Back in 2016, I started my business. And I started my business with the understanding that I would be somewhere one day traveling and working remotely, living the life that I want to live, and working the way that I want to work. Fast forward 2023, I'm doing that. And although it took lots of years of contemplation, wishing, wondering when it was going to happen, all the things we have to go through. It's a journey, y'all. Sometimes when you're manifesting stuff and you're creating a life, it doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes it's a seed that gets planted, and then you must wait for it to download inside of you so that you can take actions for when the circumstances line up in your favor. And the circumstances lined up in my favor. Post-pandemic, thanks to the pandemic, everyone became remote. And before that, when I started my business remotely online as a psychotherapist, not a lot of people were doing it. It was still a new concept. People were confused by it. A lot of people still wanted in-person therapy work, and that's totally fine. But I knew that one day it would be everywhere, and it wouldn't be such a hard concept. So for these last several years, I've worked both remotely and in person, seeing clients on the ground, seeing clients online. And I've had a variety of different settings in my business up until the present moment where I primarily am online. So thanks to 2020, the pandemic opened the doors for a lot of us. And it's given us the freedom to consider what could life look like if we were not doing it the same way every single day of our lives. And there were so many memes and videos and just different posts on Instagram that would say stuff like, if you're working remotely from home, actually at home, then you're doing it wrong. And I thought that those things were extremely funny because that's exactly what I was doing. I was at home behind a desk, held up in a room, and doing it from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, all the way to 10 o'clock at night. And it really played a role in messing up my physical and mental health, working long hours, constantly on the computer. All of my interactions and social interactions were on the computer, mainly because the world shut down, right? And there was not a lot that most of us could do to go out and socialize because events were just not happening. And so even though I still was connecting with people in person and things of that nature, being online became the place for all of my entertainment. And it's taken some time to unravel from just being online and actually getting out of the house. So anyway, I say all that because if you're somebody who's working remotely and you're working remotely from home and you think that you cannot financially somehow sustain a travel life, but you truly want to sustain a travel life, I'm going to go ahead and say to you, you can do it. You can do it. And I'm mostly talking to people from the United States because I'm only from the United States, so I can't talk to other countries and what your incomes would be. But people from the United States, I know the kind of money that we have the ability to make, and I know the kind of opportunities that we have the ability to create. So even if you're somewhere in the States and you're like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work? My first thing to say to you is work online. Find something. YouTube has a plethora of ideas and opportunities for people like you, like me, who can work online, especially if you don't realize if you have any tools or skills or anything like that. And I highly encourage you to take that, get rid of your rent. If you have a house mortgage, like have somebody rent it out rent it out for you so that you can make additional income, or turn it into an investment property so that you can make an additional income. What I'm saying to you is you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to be somewhere you don't want to be. And if you're sitting around like, what can I do? How can I do it? How am I going to make it? Do I have enough money? I can guarantee you that when you travel, your income will definitely take care of you. Because that was my thought period when I decided I wanted to travel. I was confused about the money. I was like, I just want to be able to make it without having to get trapped somewhere overseas and not be able to financially take care of myself. And I was always so concerned with how am I going to make this work? And I made every excuse in the book to not even give it a consideration. But the more I thought about it and realized, oh wait, I won't be paying rent in this States. I won't have a United States phone bill. I won't be paying car insurance, a car note, all the other bills that came with it. I won't be doing any of that. When I realized that, that's when I decided all that money that I put towards those things can easily be used as my travel expenses, and I can travel the way that I want to and experience life the way that I want to in other countries. It is definitely affordable in other countries. So I highly recommend that you consider your bills. If you're someone who's like, oh, Ebony, I want to be able to still be, have a place at home, but maybe I want to travel part-time, that's cool too. Work that out for you, but just live your life, right? Live your life and make a decision. That's all it comes down to, is making a choice and choosing to stand in it. And sometimes it's just a seed for right now until the circumstances align themselves for you to be able to do it. Because maybe you have kids. Maybe they're in the middle of school year. Maybe you don't want to take them out of the middle of the school year, but maybe you want to travel by next year. And you got to figure out their schooling, their socializing. Start now. Go to Facebook, look up parenting groups, see parents who are actually traveling with their kids. How are they making it work? It's possible. It's possible. So I'm saying to you, whatever you want, you can have it. You don't have to be stuck. Stuck is in the mind. We create stuckness when we start to think of all the limitations over the possibilities and the opportunities that we can allow. And so if you're in your head and you're considering that this is the life you want to live, then I highly encourage you to do so. Okay? This is a beautiful love transmission out here from Ubud, Bali in Indonesia. And I just wanted to say that I love you. And if you want to travel, do it. Peace, beautiful people.